It's now 4 o'clock. We'll call the meeting to order. And any comment from the audience? Okay. I'd like to ask for approval of the minutes from our last meeting, which was on June. Well, it was in June. Okay.
May? Oh, June.
I couldn't find the date. Are there any corrections to the minutes?
I don't think so.
No? Then I would entertain a move that we accept them as printed.
All said first it.
I second it.
Well, it's passed. Well, we're ready for Patty already.
That was lightning fast. Good afternoon, everyone. Today we have July warrants that total $26,209.36. The total for payroll is $16,246.21. That includes Chief Carlton's salary of $5,541.67 and Chief Shield's pay of $3,333.34. And there was one event for each of the commissioners and the board secretary. The total payout for the volunteers warrants included is $10,191. And I believe all of the June financial statements have been handed out for your review. So today I'm requesting the board's approval of the warrants and payroll for July as presented.
Are there questions about the financial report? I would just like to make a comment that gas prices have gone up, and what is kind of interesting is that it costs $537 more this month for fuel for the fire department. So it's hurting everybody.
Yes.
Okay. If there's no other comments, do you want to make a motion for
Before we
acceptance?
do that, I'd like to just back up. I don't see this, I don't have the same financials as you, so I don't see the specific increase in gas prices. I was writing the notes, but didn't get the amount. Could you repeat the amount? It's gone up this month over last month.
$537.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other comments? Okay. Can I have a motion to accept these warrants and payroll, please?
Make a motion that we accept the
Second,
payroll and the, what else was there?
And the payroll.
And the payroll.
second the motion.
Okay, the motion has been made to accept the warrants for $26,209.36 and the payroll for $16,246.21. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, and it's passed.
Great. Thank you. And then I have one other item. I need to request by motion of the board correction of June's payroll to $18,280.21. As the last entry on that spreadsheet of $1,683 wasn't included in the overall total of last month's spreadsheet. It was included in the volunteer total, but it was not included in the total of red print. You can see it's since been corrected. So I apologize for that, but I just need motion and a second of the board for official correction of that for the state auditor for our records.
Okay, I need to be, the amount is different from the previous month.
Yes.
Okay, very good. Thank you.
By 1683.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Motion, yeah.
Okay. Got it. Yes.
Okay, did you make a motion?
Yes, I did.
Oh,
Second.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear it. Okay, is there a second?
I
Yes.
second it.
Okay. It's been moved and seconded that we accept the alteration in the payroll for June and or the expenses in June. And it has passed. Okay.
Thank you. And then the last item I have is just a budget update as of July, or pardon me, as of June 30th, 2022. We have 57.94% remaining of this year's budget. And that is in comparison to 55.79% at the same time last year.
Okay. Any questions on this?
No,
No? Okay. All right. Thank you, Patty.
Thank you.
We'll move on to correspondence, Chief.
Hi, everybody. Thanks. The correspondence, just really thanks for the volunteer recognition that was done earlier the past couple of weeks, and just thank you cards for that. No correspondence other than that to speak of.
Thank you. So are you ready for your report?
Yes. So Chief's report for the month of July for June of 2022. Couple points of information is vaccination event is July 31st. I have about 100 emails right now that have come through requesting vaccinations for either Pfizer or Moderna. We have a CPR campaign for this summer. First day is July 24th. I probably potentially have around 60, 70 people that are going to be participating in that. So if anybody wants to email me regarding that event, it starts at 1 p.m. at the fire hall. There's no certification provided. It's just going to be an update and refresher of how to perform CPR, choking relief on infants, adults, and children, and also the use of automatic external defibrillators. Fire Department Open House is coming up on August 20th. Volunteer Firefighter Golf Tournament is on August 27th, and the golf tournament, anybody can contact myself. I can forward the email, but people can still sign up for that golf tournament. And it's being held here this year at the Bald Eagle Golf Course. We've had to host it at the Delta Golf Course the last couple of years just because of the pandemic. But this year we're returning it to our hometown of Point Roberts. I have nothing to report on the apparatus. I'll go back. Another point of information is I was contacted by Tony Kelly today, and we'll be reviewing our district insurance at the August meeting. So that needs to be put on the agenda, Linda. And we've had a significant increase in the cost of that. It's around $39,000 for renewal, where last year I think it was $33,000. So we've had almost a $5,000 to $6,000 increase. And I've asked Tony Kelly to go out to the other providers, which would be the VFIS, the Volunteer Firefighters Insurance. I don't know what the S stands for, but VFIS. There's CIAW, which was our previous. There's Endurus as well. And then there's also one other, which it escapes me at this point, but there's going to be 4 other proposals that he'll bring to the attention of the commissioners, and we'll have to make a choice whether we stay with our current provider, which is McNeil and Company ESIP, which again is not a cooperative. The issue that we had in CIAW with CIAW and those were it was a pool insurance, and that put us at some risk to get the money that we would be deserved if a disaster basically took out the West Coast. And if they would have enough money, where with ESIP McNeil and Company, we are singular and we have our own insurance documents with them, and it's not part of a pool. So that's something we'll have to discuss in August to make a choice on. And then I'll have those documents hopefully to you prior to the meeting, so that a review can happen. But I would expect that Tony Kelly will be here in person or on Zoom for that August meeting to explain the cost differences, coverage differences, if any, between the 4 or 5 insurance companies that we'll be looking at. And then a decision will have to be made which way we go. If we gave up our $10 million umbrella that we currently have with ESIP, that would basically be the increase that we've had over this last year. And that's about a $7,000 cost to have a $10 million umbrella. So that'll have to be part of the discussion too. But I just wanted to make you aware of that, make sure that it's on the agenda for next month. Nothing to report on the apparatus. We currently have 39 members on the roster, 30 Canadian, 8 Point Roberts in 1 county, 2 paramedics, which 1 is myself, 15 EMTs, which 4 advanced EMTs are in that staff, 1 ambassador, and we have 32 firefighters amongst that 30-time members. Volunteer hours for the month of June were 2,609 volunteer payroll. If all volunteers were getting paid, 11,503. I worked at 203 hours last month. Assistant Chief Shields, 116 to a total of 329. We had a lot of special events last month. We had a lot of training within the agency as well. And that's why my hours are a little bit higher, because I'm the one that does the instruction for the specialized courses. And I'm also always at the special events if I'm not working down south. Total calls for the month of June, 39 calls. So it was a busy month. We had 15 EMS calls. We had some sick patients last month. We had 4 patients that needed to be airlifted down to the hospital due to the nature of their illness. We had 2 Point Roberts transports where we transported by ourselves, this agency, down to the hospital. 7 no transports. We had 2 rendezvous with the county medics so they could continue the transport down to the county. We had 14 community paramedic calls last month. We had 4 public service requests. We had 6 classifications of fires. We had 1 permitted and 1 illegal outdoor burn. We had 2 power line incidents. We had 1 gas leak that we responded to, which is something we don't always do. And then we had another wrong address dispatched out. That completes my chief's report for the month of June 2022 in July. I'll take any questions.
A question, would I be able to get a copy of that type of report or that report? Or
Yeah, so I'll send this out. I need to send it to Pat Grubb as well. So I'll just start sending this out on a monthly basis to the commissioners as well.
Okay, thank you.
Any questions for Chief? I do have a question. How are you going to manage so many people doing CPR training? Goodness gracious.
Well, since it's not a certification course, we can do beyond the recommended, instructor student ratio. I will have an additional 3 instructors with me, and I will be hosting it here in the fire hall parking lot underneath tents. So as long as the weather cooperates, it'll be an outside event so people can still enjoy the sun and the warm weather. And we'll have some videos most likely that they will come inside for in an air conditioned room. And have to watch as well to put things more in perspective. But that's our hope. My hope was or is to get 200 plus people, or at least 200 people certified this summer. I plan on hosting most likely 2 free CPR refreshers updates in the month of August. And also if September's weather holds, maybe early September.
Thank you. Any further questions for the chief?
Great.
No,
Thank you very much. You were busy. Unfinished business. Is there any unfinished business that needs to come before us? I want to bring up the decision from last month that we would consider open meetings starting in August. I need to bring that before you again to be sure that that's what you want to do. We can also, as I understand it from the chief, have combined meetings so that people who do not want to attend that can still be in attendance personally. Okay. Any comments about opening the meetings next month? We're having a few more positive COVIDs, chief. Is that concern for you?
That's not a concern. You know, the rumor was that we have an outbreak again in Point Roberts, and we've never had an outbreak here. We've had upticks. And we've had some people that after the 4th of July and those festivities, you know, some people started testing positive with their quick test at home. They weren't coming in for PCR necessarily. So we've had probably over the last 3 or 4 weeks, we've maybe had a couple people test positive on the Sundays and Wednesdays. Something point of interest to remind the public about again is that we're no longer testing on Wednesdays. We're only providing COVID testing on Sundays from 10 to 11 at this point. And those are PCR testings. And we still have some, they've stated they're expired in June of 22, but they've extended that out at least a month more for these kits. So people can still have the rapid tests. We still have a couple hundred of those here at the hall. And we're starting to pass those out during our PCR testing on Sundays now. So again, we're only testing PCRs on Sundays. And the last date that we did a Wednesday was on the 6th. So I don't have any concern with what's going on in the community. People are well versed in what they need to do. They're isolating at home. And I have no concern with what's going on currently.
Thank you. Any questions? Okay, all right. Any new business? Nothing to bring up, all right? If that's the case, the only thing we can do is adjourn. Oh, we may have another shorter meeting. Yes, Pat.
I have a question. What's the photograph to our left on the screen here?
I have no idea because I don't see it.
Oh,
Where is that?
I don't see it on my screen.
looks like a
on
young
the
lady
screen.
in front of a microphone with a white circle on the microphone.
Anybody else see that on their screen? Nope.
No, you're imagining things, Pat.
No, I only had one beer.
I think Candace sabotaged your computer for this meeting, maybe.
Probably did.
But I don't see, it's definitely not on my screen. Nobody else has it on their screen, so I think we're okay.
I don't see
Okay,
Okay.
weird.
Anything else from the group? If not, I would you have something, Linda?
Yeah, I'd just like to ask Chief to confirm the Sunday PCR testing 11 to 1, did you say?
No, oh, no. 10 to 11.
Oh, 10 to 11, got it.
Yeah,
Thank
10 to 11. People would be upset because we'd be gone and they would just be showing up. So yeah, 10 to 11 on Sunday.
Since we're just discussing this, I hope that people will look at the announcement and not show up and be annoyed with us because we're not doing them on Wednesdays anymore. We've been
Yeah.
trying to tell them about it, but there are a few people who come quite frequently, and we've tried to let them know that this was going to happen. So hopefully it won't be a problem.
Yeah, and I believe I published it out to PAWS, Point Interface, and the e-post. And I think I passed that on to the newspaper too. So I'll publish it out again for confirmation. Tomorrow is Thursday. Nobody showed up today for COVID testing. So
That's good.
nobody knocked on our door anyway, expecting it when I was here.
Okay, I just thought of something that I wanted to see if we need to talk about, and that was having the old pause still have an announcement in that we would pay for, and you were going to check with the attorney if that was something that we could do.
Yeah, I apologize. I've not done that.
Oh, okay, well.
So I will send that off to Brian right after this meeting. I'll also forward my chief's report to the commissioners and to Pat Grubb at the newspaper after this meeting, and I'll get that accomplished and have something back. I don't see an issue with that because it is a private business. It's a publication. It's We pay the newspaper to publish out for us as well. And I don't necessarily, that's $40 a year, or is it $40 a month?
No, I think it's a year, isn't it?
Yeah, it was something more like that. I'd have to go back into my notes from last month when we talked about it.
Yeah, so like I said, if she can like bill through PayPal or something like that to where I can pay credit card wise, there's probably no issue with that. And I'll confirm and let the commissioners know from our legal counsel.
Okay, good. Thank you very much. Anything else? Okay, I would entertain a motion to adjourn, please.
Make a motion that we adjourn this meeting.
Second.
on July
Thank
13th.
you. And we're now adjourning at 4:21.
Okay, I will be swinging by to get your signatures and stuff here in a little bit.
Okay, thank you to those who have joined us as well.
Thank you. Bye.
Right.
Bye.
Thank you, everybody.
I'd like to call the meeting to order at 4:03 p.m. and ask if there is any comment from the audience or visitors.
No.
Nope. All right, I will entertain a motion for approval of the minutes, please.
I do.
I second
Okay, that's Pat. And no questions, I assume, in the minutes. They were long and very detailed, and thank you, Linda. That was very helpful. What is that sound? Is that
Sounds like some kind of feedback.
okay? Well, we'll just put up with it. How about that? So Patty, do you want to get started?
Yes.
Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. Today, we're presenting June warrants that total $23,748.07. The total for payroll is $16,597.21. And that includes Chief Carlton's salary of $5,541.67 and Chief Shield's pay of $3,333.34. And one event for each of the commissioners and the secretary, the board secretary. The total payout for the volunteers, including the warrants, is $13,021. And I believe you have all been handed out the May financial statements for your review. And so today I'm just requesting the board's approval for the warrants and payroll for June as presented. Oh, thank you, Chief.
Okay, I need a motion, or first of all, are there any questions that we have to ask? I would like to have some clarity on the Ellen Curtis and Sons. What was that?
Let me pull that invoice out here real quick.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear that.
Oh. I am pulling that invoice out. One moment. So the Ellen Curtis and Sons, let me see. So that looks like that is the explanation on here is one of the items, the majority, the main item here is routine annual service for the Mako breathing air compressor.
Okay.
So it's labor for the annual service on it of $1,155. And then there is $75 travel time. And then miles traveled of $46.80. And then tax on top of that for a total of $1,380.15.
Okay, and the other I wanted to know about the tower rental. Is that a yearly fee?
Oh, that is once a year. That's annual.
Good, thank you. Anybody else have questions?
No,
Oh,
no.
Okay, go ahead, Patty.
Okay,
Oh, we need to have a motion to accept this. I'm sorry, I'm
yes,
jumping.
please.
Yes,
That's okay.
okay. May I have a motion to accept the warrants and budget remaining approval?
The warrants and the payroll.
Second,
Okay,
Who made
Aye.
the, I didn't see who made the motion themselves, sorry.
I'll make the motion.
Okay, Pat's making the motion, Norm is seconding. Thank you.
good, thank you. I'm sorry, I got lost there. Are there any other questions on the budget? And Patty, do you have anything else to go over?
No, just real quick, the remainder of the budget. We have 64.80% left of the 2022 budget. And that is in comparison to 64.91 at the same time last year in 2021.
We almost caught up.
Yes.
That's great. Okay, and any questions from the two of you?
no,
Nope, okay,
On here.
none, all right.
no.
So moving on to correspondence.
No, we have no correspondence that I'm aware of.
Okay. And how about the chief's report?
Chief's report for, give me 1 second here so I can pull it up. So Chief's report for June 22 for May of 22. Points of interest, vaccine clinic event will be happening again on the 26th. We are having a CPR campaign this summer, and hopefully our goal is to train 200 people in the community. Volunteer Recognition Day is June 25th, which is basically for not just for the fire department, for all volunteers in Point Roberts. Nothing to report on any of the apparatus. Member roster is 39 members, 30 Canadian, 8 Point Roberts, and 1 Canadian, which are made up of 2 paramedics, 15 EMTs, which 4 are advanced EMTs, 1 ambassador, and 32 firefighters. Volunteer hours for May, 2,550. If everybody was getting paid, the volunteer pay would be $12,821. Chief's hours, Chief Carlton had 181 hours. I had 143.5 for a combined of 315.5. We had 32 calls in May, 10 EMS calls. We had one transport to St. Joe's, 1 airlift, 5 no transports, 1 to the county medic rig, and 2 North Whatcom. We had 11 community paramedic visits, 1 public service. We had 10 fire classifications. We had 2 permitted burns and 3 illegal burns, 1 false alarm, 1 gas leak, 1 wrong address, 1 water rescue, and we had 1 fire training event this year. So that is the chief's report for May of 2022.
Great, thank you. Any questions about the report?
Yeah, what is a wrong address?
Basically, we were dispatched to an address that wasn't in our jurisdiction. So in this aspect, we were dispatched to a call that was in Blaine.
I see.
So they pushed the wrong
Did you say
button.
Blaine?
In Blaine.
Oh,
Believe it
okay.
or not, there's actually a Benson Road in Blaine too.
It hasn't happened very often, does it?
No, maybe half a dozen times a year.
Okay. Any other questions?
No.
Okay. The CPR classes that you're planning to do, Oh, sorry, just 1 minute. Let me get rid of this. I apologize. The CPR classes, when are you planning to start those? Do you know?
That I am not 100% positive, but I can get back to you on that. I'm hoping that, I think we're going to start once Easter, not Easter.
It's a ways back.
Yeah, fairly soon here. We're trying to group the like these associations like down in Maple Beach and Crystal Water Beach. We usually put on fairly large events for them in somebody's yard. But I'm not sure the exact date that we're going to start yet, but I can get that to you, and once I find it out and get it back to you.
So you'll advertise it for other people to attend those particular places?
Yep.
Oh,
we
good.
will. So
Okay.
it'll be put out on Point Interface and Nextdoor and in paper.
Great. That's wonderful. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anything else about the report? You guys are awful quiet today. Come on, wake up. How about unfinished business? We have no unfinished business. Okay, we do have some discussion. How about new business? It has to do with how we're going to conduct our meetings. And we've remained in the Zoom process because we still had a fair number of positive COVIDs on the point. And I think it's probably up to us to decide how we want to go from here. We're not obligated at this point, as I understand it, to go to open meetings until we know that our risk is not totally zero, but down as low as possible. Is that the way you read it, Linda?
The way I read it is that the board needs to formally define that they have voted that it is not yet safe to return. So it's probably going to take a vote.
Well, yes, okay, we'll do that. But I want some discussion about it because
Yeah.
I think some of you like to have open meetings and some of you enjoy doing it with Zoom. And I know that it's nice to have Patty here every meeting. So, any thoughts?
I think if it's working, I'd keep it going at this point.
The Zoom, you mean?
Yes.
Okay. Well, we can, yes, go ahead, Pat.
But I don't mind doing the Zoom, but I like just to do the combination like we used to eventually here.
So I just got a text from Chief Carlton, and he says that if we do go back to the regular thing, we will still have a Zoom portion.
Okay, so that would work for any one of us who couldn't meet a meeting. That's a good thing. Okay.
Okay.
So we need to take a motion on this. If you want to try the combination, we can certainly do that. I think that if you're out of town or it's difficult to make a meeting, it would be a good opportunity to be able to have a combination. So
Sure.
somebody want to make a motion? Go ahead, Pat.
I'll make a motion that maybe we should try a combination in August.
Combination in August, okay. So we'll have July as it is now. And then we would go to a combination. And we could do some, I mean, that could be in our minutes. That would help with some publicity and then do some additional for August ahead of time. Does that sound reasonable, Linda?
Yes, when we put out our social media notices about the meeting, they all say that currently they are held. And so in the future, we'll say to be, will be in-person meeting with the option to participate by Zoom. So both the information will be on this, let's say, notification.
Good, okay. All right, so we have a motion on the floor. Has it had a second? No?
Not yet.
Well, I'll
Um,
second it.
Okay, VL, you got it.
Okay.
And in favor?
Any in favor? All in favor?
Yeah.
Here,
Okay, fine, that passes. So that's good. We'll have notice out and that'll give us one more month. And by that time, I think we probably
Should do
will
it.
pretty much be hopefully in a safe place. Okay, anything else that you would like to bring up to discuss?
Yes.
Yes, good.
The Point Interface, as it used to be known, was a charity on behalf of the Pause organization in town. And my understanding is that the fire district has provided donations to that charity for the purpose of receiving the benefit of unlimited notices being posted. Pause has removed themselves from the Point Interface notification board and has been turned over to a private individual who is making it a profitable, but her goal is to donate all of the profits to charity, but she's going to start paying her this for the internet and all the things that Pause was paying for. So I asked her for what she thought a reasonable donation was for this type of organization on an annual basis. And she said it was very difficult for her. I had to cajole her into recognizing, the value. Oh, Chief Defer's telling me that was those were always private donations and that the district never did. So that's news to me. I didn't know that. So that may reflect on your decision to discuss this at all, if at all. But Pam, the person who's running the e-post now, Chief Defer's, he's just re-clarified it has always been a personal donation by him personally. But if the district is going to put out these notices, perhaps they would consider a donation. I don't know if you can do donations with public funds, so you guys can discuss that amongst yourselves, unless Chief reiterates that he's going to continue to do it out of his own pocket. But she was looking for like $100 for an annual for unlimited notices.
Because it's a donation and not a charge. I wonder if that makes a conflict. Can the chief help us out here or John?
Well, I also sent her $100, Chief. He's asking me how much. I also asked the same question on behalf of the company that I work for. And I said, we can't, we have to have invoices, our accountant needs to have invoice payment. And
yeah, just have it available. Yeah.
Chief is saying he will continue to make a personal donation and not to use district funds. So that shuts it down right there.
Okay, and Patty, are we on the right track?
I'm sorry, for
that decision.
Pardon?
For using the district funds to pay for donations.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Okay. Although she is a corporation. I mean, if she gave us an invoice, would the district look at that any differently?
Well, I think we would have to have some legal consultation on that.
Okay.
Somehow or other, I think we're getting in a can of worms here.
Okay, that's fine. Well, Chief Defer says he'll run that by our corporate district attorney. And so we'll get a determination on that in the future. But Chief, keep in mind that she is now actually a corporation. She's just agreed to give all profits to charity once the expenses of that corporation are covered. So he'll take it from here. We can just put this on the back burner and let Chief run with it.
That sounds like a good plan for me. Is that agreeable with the other two of you?
Yeah.
yes,
Okay.
I just wanted to ask because I didn't want our access to unlimited notices to change since the structure of that organization changed.
Well, that's true. And we also are obligated to notify the public of our meetings.
Mm-hmm.
And we don't have a better way of doing it. I mean, it pretty much has to be by email or in the newspaper. So
it is. It's posted in the newspaper. We have the benefit of the now called e-post, which used to be Point Interface, And we also put it on Nextdoor under my personal account because the fire district doesn't have a corporate account and they cost money to have a corporate account on Nextdoor. So I just put it on under my personal, the meeting information.
And that's
And,
okay.
and it gets replies. People are reading it. They are acknowledging and thanking us for the notifications. So they are receiving them.
Good. Thank you for doing that.
Well, that's no problem. It's part of our obligation is to notify the public, as you pointed out. And
Okay, so is there any other new business to bring up to discuss? Well, I would accept a motion for adjournment in that case.
I make a motion, we adjourn this meeting.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, we are going to adjourn at 4:23.